Little on the toe?
No.
That was pretty good. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. That was killed. There it is. Isn't that fun? Landed in that bottleneck easy. Look at that. Bingo.
That's what I was missing.
There's your anchor.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa. All right. It's okay. So, go ahead and set up.
Hit the cart path.
Okay, there, that's it. So just match this to that. Does it feel like you are? Mm-hmm. Boom. Boom, baby. Oh, that's so sweet. So, hey everybody. Got Shawn and Sav, and Moo is right nearby. He's staying real close. We're going to be doing some fairway woods today. And notice what I just, performed with Sav right here. It's an easy task. It's an easy tip that we're going to show you. It's going to have you really hammer those fairway woods. Here's Sav with a 5-wood. And by the way, Savannah can hit a 3-wood, but she's not benefiting from a 3-wood. So typically you hit the 3-wood about 210 to 220 carry, whereas you're carrying the 5-wood 230.
Yeah.
Most of you do this as well and you don't know about it, right? So that's why it's important that you go out and get a fitting and make sure that you have the clubs that you're going to benefit from in your bag. So let's look at that 5-wood right there, Sav. I'm going to put the little club on that. So it was pretty funny. We had Savannah set up before, and she was getting a little open. She was cutting the ball a little bit. And our side vision really influences the way that we set up. So once we had her set up properly behind the ball, she says, I feel blocked off, and I feel like I'm going to send the ball way too far to the left. Mm-hmm. In which you did the first couple. And you said, see, I blocked it. It was 2 degrees left on the path of the club, right? So look at your path right here. It's only 4 degrees to the left, but now your face is 0.7 degrees closed. And that's close to that particular path. So you get this beautiful draw, spin axis. And notice right here that gorgeous path out to the left, and you didn't have to really think about it. And notice how level your approach was. So fairway woods, we're looking for, 1 degree up to 1 degree down in that zone.
Yeah. So
you're humming right there perfectly, and it's right in the center of the face. So understanding this, if we were to put here, actually, I'll have you face the camera here, Sav. So I'm going to put my little 4-pound hammer down, and we're putting the ball right up against that. Do a backswing and stop. Come on down in slow motion. So you're getting out of the way. The club's coming down, strikes the ball, continues down through under or along the base of the hammer, and then comes out over there. Yeah. So show me a ball position that'd be way too far forward. So I see many of you do this. You put the ball more forward in your stance because you're trying to desperately lift the ball. That's not going to work, because what ends up happening right now, Sav, with that ball too far forward, doesn't it feel like you're going to hit the ground way too far behind it?
Yeah.
And also top it on the way up.
Yeah.
And if you do have the opportunity to get all the way to the ball to hit it solid, go ahead, take your backswing, come on in and put it solid on the ball. Doesn't that feel like you're coming way over here now?
Yeah.
So you're going to be yanking that sucker way right for the lefty player. And now let's see you play the ball too far back in the stance. So with this particular tip, you'll see that when the ball's too far back in the stance, go ahead and do that same thing. Come on down in slow-mo. Doesn't that feel like you got to reach back? You'll have to do that in order to not miss the ball.
Yeah.
So if the ball is in the right position, go ahead. Doesn't that feel like you could just tag it now, right? And you've seen how, yes, Sav's got a very strong grip. That's a hammer grip, right? So let me get my favorite hammer here real quick. If we get a household hammer and you're hammering down on something, right? Notice everything's level. Now we want to hammer through with something. Savvy's a professional carpenter, okay? She knows how to hammer stuff. And for that little frame, so now you put the same thing here. That's her hammering this way. So notice my trail hand looks like your trail hand because I'm hammering that way. The alignment of the forearms, radius ulna, are now compressing through that ball. So go ahead and set up.
And yes, I have a forward press.
Yes, well, of course,
That
because
just helps me get to my target.
well, when you're hammering something, the hand comes through first. You're always leading with the handle and the hand. The beginning of the hammer is here, then the end is there. So we're hammering through something. So you're getting ready to hammer through that. That's how it works, people. Okay? So we take the hammer and line it up in the direction she wants to start it. We're hitting a draw starting left edge of that intermediate point. Do you feel how you're right up against that hammer the same way, Sav? All right. So Sav, all she has to do is hammer away at that. Oh, just a little bit in the bunker. Try one more. She's swinging really well.
I just can't stay static at the dress that long.
Yeah, that was my fault, letting you hang there with the hammer in front of you. Look at that. How pretty is that?
Okay, one more.
So a little 5 wood, 245. Hang on, you can't go yet. You know that?
Yeah.
Look at that beautiful shot. That was just a hair of a fade. So notice she had a nice little fade on that last shot. And you're thinking that grip is going to make, it's going to create like wicked hooks. For many of us, it would, right?
For me, it doesn't.
For her, it doesn't because she has itty bitty wrists. So for her, she gets that super strong grip and club face just a little bit more closed, then you'll have your draw, right? So when it's closed enough, that was really good there. When it's closed enough.
That was tagged.
That was really tagged.
That was like 240 carry.
243.
I didn't get it on the green.
How good is that? So now do the same, but start it toward that bunker on the left, right? So stay left of that intermediate point so it draws right back. Very close.
Oh, so close!
And so notice we close the face more and you got 3 beautiful draws in a row. So notice all the other numbers are the same. And we're just hovering between, hey, a little bit too closed, a little bit too open. But, as you continue throwing darts to the left of that intermediate point, it'll continue to do that. So if you come back in a month from now, Sav she'll be peppering that flagstick all day.
I mean, it's pretty consistent for a fairway wood anyway.
Absolutely.
Like a little up and down from there is not that bad.
There you go.
Pretty. So that was a little fade, wasn't it?
It was.
Little bitty fade. So a lot of people say, oh, that was straight. Okay, yeah, it was a straight fade.
I'm getting so close, I can just feel it.
Little on the toe?
No?
That was pretty good. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. That was killed.
Okay, well, I know that one.
Okay. So now, behold, look at that little package, right? Now, for many of you who are looking down at that fairway wood, let me give you a little bit more of an indication of, how the sole of the club, what's going to be the sound of the sole of the club along the surface of the ground.
Like a thump.
A nice thump.
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel like the same thump in the bunker for a bunker shot?
Yeah, it
Right?
does, yeah.
So when you're doing hybrids and fairway woods, we're looking for that thumping deflection along the surface of the ground. So imagine this was a skipping stone, and you're skipping a stone on water. You got a big puddle in front of you here, and you're going to take that and skip it in the direction that you want to go.
Yeah.
So when you're getting over the shot, then let's go to a different hole here for me. I'm going to put this on a short par 4, and then I'll have Moo show you the difference with his right after that, okay? So hang on. Isn't that pretty?
That's pretty.
There's that little bunker
That's
down the
a
left
sneaky
side.
bunker.
Yes, there's a sneaky bunker
That's
there.
a nasty bunker.
That's
So you
just
can-
mean.
Yeah, that's,
Yep. So we're on hole number 15 at Pebble Beach. What a beautiful little hole. So look at this view here. So I'm going to take it down the right-hand side and let it drift down. And the thing about it is, there's that, you see that bunker?
Yeah,
See how the fairway slopes towards that deep pot bunker right there?
yeah.
But fortunately, as long as you're not up against the lip, it's close enough to the green.
Okay.
So you notice it's 372, a little downhill. And what we're looking for now is a nice little thump in the direction that we want to start the ball. So I'm looking for that same analogy there with the hammer. It feels like I'm right up against that hammer, and it feels like I'm going to squeeze that ball just a little right of my intermediate point. I'm using the weight of my arms and hammer to do that. And there it goes. That was just a hair thin, but what a fun looking shot that was. There it is at 270 yards, and look at the view I have at that flagstick right now. So from the right-handed standpoint, there's my hammer. Got to lunge. Got to reach back. Oh man, can I just stamp it in there. And for the draw, I'm going to stamp it just a hair to the right. And for the fade, I'm going to stamp it just a hair to the left. Right there. So now there's my draw. Stamping it. Stamping it. See that? So you'll see the jackknife drill, Shawn Clement. Heave. There's that jackknife. Jackknife feels like I can just tag it, compress it in that direction. So here it comes. There it is.
Oh, that's going far.
Isn't that fun? Landed in that bottleneck easy. Look at that. 300-yard 3-wood down there. How about
That'll
that?
do, eh?
Moo, let's see you beat that, buddy.
Okay.
Now, Moo is finally coming around with the fairway wood. He didn't have a fairway wood this year, right?
Yeah, no.
You were kind of stuck between, so we're hitting 4 irons off the tee when driver was too much.
Right.
And that left you a little far back on some holes.
Some holes, yeah.
But, when you're hitting your 4 iron 260, it's okay.
Yeah, that's it.
It's okay. Now the 3-wood's coming around.
Yeah.
And you're starting to really understand sole of club to ground,
Right.
and how it stabilizes the club face. And because you're getting better also at, you're getting a better release. So look at that lead hand release that we did. That really helped Moo in a big way.
Yeah.
So without further ado, here's Essex Country Club. Gorgeous little Donald Ross.
Yeah.
And here's the flight. Look at this hole. Perfect for that 3-wood draw, Moo.
Yeah.
And then let's see cruise. Put it on cruise control.
Yeah.
And let's see you pipe one down there. Follow that fairway with that draw.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Turning, but
It's turning.
start too far left.
Woo, baby. You just nudge the lady waiting on the next hole.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta change it to driver.
So we got, yeah, I'll switch it.
Okay.
So your launch angle on that was 13 degrees. That was pretty good. Let's have a look at this.
Okay.
Even though it was on driver setting, it's okay. Path, spot on.
Yeah.
A little caught a little bit up,
Yeah.
a little bit towards the toe, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's where that, see, one thing that you want to, and this lends to this, the face on these clubs is round. It's
Right.
not flat. So for many of you who tend to hook these too much, you're trying to keep the club face square. Whereas in actuality, the face is a lot more closed, or a lot more closed than what it looks like. It looks open, but it's actually square. So if you let it lay flat on the ground, the face is running away from you because it's got a curve to it. Don't pay any attention to that. So if you leave it flat on the ground, you'll realize that with the Callaway, the chevron is pointing straight at the target. Okay? So some of you may need to close the face more for woods, and some of you may need to close it less. But just keep that in mind. Okay? So when you hit it a little bit off the toe, Moo,
Yeah.
it nudged it a little bit more to the left. Notice how,
Yeah, that's right.
see that? So if we look here,
Yeah.
notice the path coming in is at 5 degrees, but it left at 7.6.
That's a lot in terms of starting.
Well, that's because of at that point on the face is 2 degrees more open.
Right.
You know, when TaylorMade says twist faced, it's just bulge. It's been around for decades, okay?
Yeah.
So they reinvented the name, but not the concept.
Yeah.
So that started there, but because it's a little bit on the toe, it also has that gear effect.
Yeah.
That's why we do that. So when it comes off the toe, it torques the shaft, and the shaft kicks it into a draw.
Correct.
Okay?
Yeah.
So now you look at the side spin on that, and we've got 741 spin to the right.
Okay.
So notice it came back beautifully, didn't it?
Yeah, I did.
And if we look at the center line, so let's look at, see where the center line is?
Yeah, draw it back to.
Now, here's the problem right out of the gate.
Yeah.
We can't line up there for you.
No.
You actually, had you lined that up over the bunkers,
Yeah.
you'd be right on the flagstick.
That's right. Yeah. It's
Okay?
Yeah. Let's change that alignment then.
So we're going to go fairway wood, and then we're going to take that alignment because we need to, see your carry is about 290.
Yeah.
All right?
That makes more sense.
There you go. Now you're right in between those two bunkers in front of the green.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, dude. Back in action. Bingo.
That's what I was missing.
There's your anchor.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
That's good.
290 carry.
Oh,
If you see how Moo's head tends to tilt forward,
yeah.
that's going to put you in front of the ball.
Yeah.
And now, because you're in front of the ball, you'll tend to leave it out a little bit.
Yeah.
So notice all we did, come on back.
Yeah.
So your body feels solid. We're
Yeah.
just going to tilt the head a little more,
Yeah.
but not the body.
Yeah.
Just kink the head there, like you're holding a phone under, between your cheek and your shoulder.
Yeah.
Can you feel that?
Yeah.
So doesn't that feel now that you can stay along the surface of the ground through that hammer?
Yeah. I feel like I can really release it. Without
Exactly.
moving forward. Yeah.
So as the club continues,
Yeah.
so set up right beside the hammer.
Okay.
Step back a little more.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So as the club continues through,
Yeah.
okay, that feels like somebody's holding your head back here
Yeah.
and pulling on your club head over there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the head is anchoring that release,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's why this hammer and that visual of really feeling how you're using the weight of your arms,
Yeah.
pipes, you're using the weight of your arms and club to squeeze the ball through the hammer in that direction.
Yeah.
See you next time. Thanks for listening. All the best.